I'm floating down the pavement with nothing lost alive.
All right. Hello, everybody. How we doing? This is the long-anticipated, a whole 2 days interview with Dallas Flanary here.
How's it going?
He is the gentleman who could do the crazy double scream that I put out, 2-3 days ago, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, and so far, it's gotten over 750,000 views. Yeah, that's incredible. That's awesome. Yeah, so we were just sitting here talking, just shooting the crap, and so we were talking about how you had in a you know what? Let me start over. Let me just say, introduce yourself
Okay.
and tell us what you're all about right now.
I'm starting to get some nerves, bro.
I think that's a good thing,
Yeah. So my name is Dallas Flanary. On Instagram, it's Dallas C Flanary. Yeah, I produce and record my own R&B style music. It's got some like alternative, I'd say like some alternative and pop influence. This video that Wayne dropped of me doing the double scream is, what is that, 15 years old?
15 years old.
Yeah, so it's 15 years old. I was a kid going into my senior year of high school, and that was a high school band that I was in, the first one that I ever did vocals for. And I don't make that music anymore. It's hilarious to see like the dialogue that's just going on in the comments section. And I've had like such a fun time just responding to people. But yeah, so still making music. It's R&B music. I'm really in love with that genre, that sound. I was just telling you about like Kehlani, Kari, Brent Fayez. I think there was another artist that I mentioned. Leon Thomas. But then I also I don't know if you've ever heard of Duran Jones and the Indications.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, they got like a very like Motown-esque sound.
Okay.
So kind of somewhere in the lane of like that. But definitely, I think I'm utilizing a lot of like past influences and things that I used to listen to help maybe create a little bit of a diverse sound.
Okay.
While I'm creating.
For sure. Let me just fix the angle on this camera because that'll
I feel like I
plug
look
me in.
like such a thick boy.
Oh no, not at all, bro. I
might have
probably got more pounds on it than you. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. So yeah. So you were talking about how you like R&B music. You're kind of straying away from the metal and everything. Do you ever research any of the bands like the Home Team at all, or anything like that, with where they have a lot of like R&B influences in their singing, and like sometimes they don't even have screaming, like they just have like heavier guitars and stuff like that?
Oh no, I've never heard of.
Never heard of that?
Never
Okay,
heard.
yeah. There's quite a few bands. I can send you a couple. Home Team is one of them. They're just on tour with. Do you know who Bill Murray is by any chance?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, they just finished a tour with Bill Murray in the U.S., I believe. Yeah. So I was just trying to making that correlation.
Sure.
Yeah. So what is Dallas up to these days? Sorry, I can't speak ever. But...
Dude, you can speak perfectly fine. It's all good.
Thank you.
What am I up to these days? I work. I'm a stationary engineer. I work 12-hour shifts, which is fun because the schedule that I have is we work 5 12-hour days, and then you get 5 days off.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you work 2 12-hour days, and then you get 2 off.
Yeah.
And you kickstart that 5 12-hour shifts again. And so sometimes I'm sleeping just because I'm drained mentally and sometimes physically.
Well, I mean, when we get to this age, it kind of gets to that point, where rest is more important than just powering through for no good reason sometimes,
Right.
Yeah.
I think if I worked out more, maybe I'd have a smidge more energy. I don't know.
Maybe.
I need to get back in the gym. But yeah, so just kind of locked into what I do for stationary engineering. there's different classification, like job classifications, and you get you have like a training program that we kind of go through. I started off as an apprentice. I'm at like a what they call E4 level, and then it goes all the way up until E8, where you're, the shift lead engineer in the chair running the plant, our powerhouse, from like a digital, what they call it the board, but it's like a digital computer screen, a handful of them actually, and then different keyboards and mouses, and you like run different software and monitor it, turn pumps on and off,
Okay.
watch boilers, things like that. So I'm when I'm there, strictly focused on that, and then when I start the 5 days, usually, which is starting today actually,
Mhm.
normally I would just like sleep the whole day away and then wake up the next day and try and just figure out what the rest of the week's gonna hold.
I don't blame you, man. I know how that is and everything. And just for those guys watching right now, we were catching up for the past half hour and stuff, so we're kind of going over the topic that we were just talking about. But yeah, so just in case if it feels like we're being rhetorical, is that the question I'm looking for? Something like
Yeah,
that.
no, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
for sure. Okay. So you said you're doing R&B music nowadays. You dropped your latest cover, which is "Finesse" by Drake.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I love the Scorpion album. That's a really good album.
Dude, yeah.
What are your plans for the future? Yeah, do you have anything planned, or do you want to just kind of keep it to covers, or?
Yeah, so I actually do have some stuff planned. That I actually have some video footage of me in the studio recording that Drake cover that I haven't released.
Okay.
And now that you've kind of, by way of showing the people the double scream, garnered a lot of attention in my direction and in your direction, which is sweet.
That's crazy.
And even one of my past bands and my good friends Brett's direction. I am. So the plan when I went to Texas was to record like 2 covers, and I was going to do like a Canadian like 2 covers, because there's Tory Lanez, who also does R&B.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with him or not.
Of course.
Okay. So yeah, I was going to do one of his covers, and then I was going to do Drake, and I toured the studio, because you can find there's this cool app. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's called PeerSpace.
Mm-mm.
So PeerSpace, you can find like different studios, whether it's recording or like a video production set that you want to go to, or like a place that you could maybe produce a video there and use it as a set. You can go on there, and like it'll give you like the price it is usually per day for like to rent that spot. And I found this place called 50/50 Studios in Dallas, Texas. I guess I think Chance the Rapper and like Macklemore recorded there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I took a tour of the studio like the second day I was in town in Dallas, and I was staying in the Fort Worth area, and the guy that gave me the tour, he was like, yeah, so what'd you have in mind? I was like, I want to knock out like 2 covers, because I don't have anything prepared to record really. And he was like, yeah, so that I don't know how many hours we have tomorrow in the afternoon. And it turned out they only had like a 2-hour window where I could record versus 4. And so I just paid for 2 hours, and I didn't know if I could do the 2 covers, and definitely couldn't within the 2-hour span of time. I had like ripped the Drake beat from YouTube from somebody that like had it on there, and then we just put it into the software, which they use Pro Tools there. And then I jumped in the booth, and I had been singing Finesse for like so long, just driving around my car on repeat, because I was like really loved the song. And Bryson Tiller actually has a cover of Finesse that got him like he got super popular off of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the beat sounds sped up to me, and it's like it's kind of got a different type of sound than like how I would normally do it.
Yeah.
And I still love both versions. I think obviously the original with Drake is like awesome, and then Bryson's is really cool. I'm not a huge fan of like the like sped up beat sound, but I think maybe he did it to like not have to worry about copyright strikes or something like that.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, I was able to do that, and then through like an online distributor get a cover license for the song, and I was just stoked when it got approved and everything, because the way that I think I sing it is unique to me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And so I was super stoked about that. But to circle back and answer your original question, I don't think that I'm gonna like stick strictly to covers. I think the Drake thing was just simply that I didn't have a whole lot of time. What can I knock out while I'm here, because I'm in the Dallas Fort Worth area for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I know how to sing this song. I can rip this beat. Boom.
Right.
Easy.
You got a Dallas in Dallas. It'd be a good like album name or
Right,
something,
dude.
you know?
Yeah. So the plan is the guy that I worked with, I can't remember his last name, but I believe his first name was David. He was a super cool engineer. I like had some nerves going in there because I hadn't worked with like an engineer in such a long time, just in a studio setting. And when I would describe certain things like, hey, can we trim this? I want to do harmonies here. Can we layer this? Like, he totally got it. And all of a sudden, like, things just kind of clicked, and we were both just executing. And to me, that was really exciting. And I felt like we worked so well together that the future plan, I'm like conceptualizing an album and writing it in a book right now as to what I want to do, like for cover art. I haven't got into like this song or creating process yet. I'm just trying to get the artistic aspect of it down right now, and then figure out storyline wise, based off of like personal experience, what that's gonna look like, and then based off of what it looks like, how that should feel, and then try and create in that manner, and then take what I have and record in my little studio apartment, take it to Texas and see if I can get David and I together like in a room.
Okay.
And we can either like work on it, mix and master it, or if there's things that I need to touch up and record, do that with him, and then go from there. For sure.
And so do you think you'd ever like maybe do like a cover of like an R&B song, but have like kind of like heavier guitars with drums in the background or something? Maybe do your own spin version on it or something like that, maybe?
So like the heavier thing, I don't.
It doesn't have to be heavy. I mean, you can even do just rock like Daughtry or something, you know what I mean? Or something like that.
So like, are you saying taking like a rock song and turning it R&B? Or are you saying like using the R&B influence to like do a rock? I'm confused.
The second one. Yeah.
So use like do a cover of a rock song R&B style. Yeah,
because I think a lot of great artists really do find empowerment, because like you always hear like rappers who are like, fuck rap, blah blah blah, and they're like, I listen to like what's his name, the guy that sang Lovely Day or something, Bill Withers.
Bill
Withers. I like Bill Withers. They're like, I like listen to like Jackson 5 and stuff like that. That's why you get all these like disco samples and stuff that are in these hard rap beats and everything. You know what I mean? So I think that can really be a good bridge, even though if you don't want to do, like I said before, I'm here to keep it open. I don't want to force anyone into a corner or make anyone feel pressured or anything like that.
Dude, I think that's a really, and sorry to like interrupt.
No, not at all.
Or like cut you off, because I'm just thinking in my head like now the way that you presented it. I think it's a cool concept. I don't know that I can't say personally that I have plans to do that, but since you gave me that insight and perspective, if I fell in love with a song, this is kind of the same way that I did like the way that I sang Finesse. And they're probably, I guarantee you, dude, there's probably like a handful of songs now that you mentioned that, that I could pull from the back of my mind and be like, yeah, that would be sick to do like in a different style, because it's like reverse Our Last Nights, right? Like Our Last Nights takes like any famous Billboard song and just flips it on its head and does like this like really heavy thing to it. And so I would be doing the inverse of that, like finding somebody that's like super popular off of a heavy song, and figuring out how to like reverse engineer it and
kind of like a pop goes punk type of thing, like from back in the day. For sure.
I don't know. I could see myself doing that, but I would say to circle back to what you'd said. I think the most profound and long lasting, like timeless artists that they're known for sometimes decades or centuries, however you want to put it, but like through generation to generation, they're often eclectic to begin with, because they're pulling from so many different sources that what they do doesn't sound generic. Right.
Like how Ozzy Osbourne, one of his biggest influences was the Beatles. Actually, did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So he was completely and utterly inspired by them, and that's the whole reason why I started playing rock music. Actually, speaking of producers, moving on to the next question, so we don't tire that one out. what was it like working with Landon Tewers back in the day? Do you remember? Because he posted on his story after I made the reel,
Yeah.
and he was saying like, "Oh man, I couldn't believe this! Like I was in complete awe." And I remember thinking back in the day, because I knew who Landon Tewers was and who Vessels, if anybody, the OGs remember.
Okay.
But I remember like seeing a bunch of people going to record with him, and I never saw him like get that quiet when you did that double scream, and I could tell he was kind of like, "Holy crap! Like this is crazy," you know. But what was it like working with him? Because
Yeah, first off, dude, it's funny that you bring up Vessels, because that was Platt's original name
Yep.
before, and I thought it was cool, but then I don't know what. I think maybe there was like another, because I think I might have asked him. I was always like so curious and just couldn't hold back if I had a question.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Which I think some of the bandmates didn't like, because I could be awkwardly confrontational,
Whatever.
unintentionally.
That's all right.
But yeah, I think I recall like asking him or something. I don't know if there was another band that was called that, or like what went on, and then I was like, so where did the name Plot new? He was like, we just need a new name. Like we had this. We had I think it's in. I think the name's in Wife Beater, the song, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that.
That's right. It was in Wife Beater. Yeah. Because Vessels was taken. I think I remember that specifically because I saw them at Skateland West back in the day when they'd have shows there with like Icy Stars and all that.
Okay.
And they were Vessels back then. But yeah, I think they had to change it because someone else named Vessels, and they're like, we just need to change it.
And so he said he just like pulled the Plot new from the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's sick.
Also, speaking of which, you asked me to remind you to tell you a story about the video you sent me earlier.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, because now I can tell that and it'll make sense. So for the internet, the people on the internet that don't know, because I've had in the comment section, there's like a lot of people that are like, where is he now? Like, what is he doing
There's
now?
there's gotta be like at least 150, 200
dude,
comments.
Yeah. And it's like, it's so cool because the way that it's funny because I love some of the comments that you can poke fun at, because people are like, you're so genuine in your delivery and like your enthusiasm behind what's like you're having like this like moment of excitement and just like filming it, like, man, just like and nostalgia, like it's just pure nostalgia on your face.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, like this dude, you know, in this band, I miss him, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden I just rock up in the comments.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. I was literally at work. I was washing dishes at work, and because I work at a restaurant, and I was sitting there, and I started flipping through, and I was like, holy crap, like we found him. Like that's crazy, dude. Like the algorithm brought him to us. And you were like, you showed up before even like 10,000 views or something. So it was even crazier than that, you know?
Yeah, Brett, the guy that I had done some stuff with before, he had sent me the video, and he was like, you know this guy? And I was like, yeah, I know that guy. Like, Wayne used to come to the shows and just gas me up, dude. Like,
Yeah, bro.
like, he was such a good friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so crazy. And so I was like, I was like, what do I do here? And I was like, dude, I gotta say what's up to Wayne.
That's
and
awesome.
So I just hit you up in the comments. But yeah, to go back to the video. So the video that you got like a screen grab of is like the quote unquote studio update, and that's actually the drummer of Bury the Witness's YouTube channel. Gabe Call was his name.
Okay.
And so Gabe, I don't know if he might have brought like his own camcorder or something. And you see me get so awkward to the point of like not knowing like what to. It's like one of those, I can't remember what movie is, like, what do I do with my hands?
Right.
Was that Talladega Nights or something, or I can't even remember, Blades of Glory or something like that.
Huh.
But yeah, so Gabe's like film. I told him, I was like, yo, just film if you're gonna film me when I'm doing the thing, you know, like when it's on.
Yeah, when you're not even noticing it's behind you and stuff
then,
like that.
I'm just sitting there trying to just be normal, and then the camera just makes. I'm like, and then he's like, "This is our new vocalist." I'm like, "Oh, dude, here it goes." But he it's funny because he meant well, and I was just like a kid in my own head at that point in time. But so you see a video on his channel that's labeled, I think, BTW Vox or Bury the Witness Vox, which is like vocals, and he's literally recording it's got the section that you screen grabbed from that studio update, but like an extended version of it. And for everybody on the internet that says that it's coming through the speakers, you can literally hear Landon stop the track and then bring everything through the monitors. So I promise you, It's not. And the story that I'm going to tell you is Ethan, the bass player, I think his name's Ethan. The
It's
bass
Ethan,
player,
yeah.
okay. So the bass player from Plot,
Mhm.
you see him in that video. Now, Landon was recording us. We were recording 2 demos with him, and then we would go back later to record an EP that has like a completely different, more polished sound to it.
Mhm.
But when I did that scream, somewhere in between like doing the takes, Landon had Ethan come to the studio,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I can recall some stuff. I don't want to put like words in his mouth or like be over dramatic and like add stuff that isn't there. Because I can't remember if he let us know that Ethan was coming or not, but Ethan like came and like was like how he's standing next to Landon as he's engineering and everything.
Yeah.
He's just standing there, and then like just for like maybe a couple minutes until we're done with the vocals, and then dips.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, what was that all about?
Yeah.
You know?
He was probably like, that was crazy.
So
You didn't probably know what to say.
And
You know?
again, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
My hunch was that Landon was kind of like, what the was that? You
Uh-huh.
know, when he heard the scream.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
hit up Ethan because they probably listened to heavier stuff, which is like what influenced like their like brutal sound back then.
Right,
Like
right.
heavy like sound. And so maybe he thought like it was cool or something. He wanted to show Ethan, but like didn't want to like
Intimidate you or something like that.
I don't know about like intimidate, because dude, there was one time I was off on timing, and he kind of like he looked at me like, dude, how many times we're gonna do this freaking take? And he just like gets up, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm doing the thing. And I'm recording the track. He's like, no, you're off, dude, you're off. He's like, do you not understand timing? I'm like, and this is like my first time recording anything to a metronome.
Right, yeah.
And so he's like, it's what? And he's like, hand me the headphones, like snatches the headphones from me. He's like, 1, 2, 3, scream, and like yells into the microphone.
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't have that on video, but I just remember like locking up and just being like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, I almost don't want to be here anymore.
Right, yeah,
now.
yeah.
So it was like weird, and he meant well. It was just I think he was kind of just like, dude, what is going on?
I think every engineer that does it professionally gets in that mode, because like when they're not, because like when you're recording yourself, you have the patience. Like when I record my guitars at home, I'll do it like 30, 50 times, and like I'll just be like, all right, do it again, and just keep going over it over and again. But when it's somebody else and you have other things you want to do that day, and there's like a specific slot, it's probably like a little frustrating, being like, dude, like do it right, and you can't say or don't do it at all, because like I need to get paid, man. So he's probably just stuck in a spot, because I've just seen a lot of engineers do that. So I think it's a common quality of a lot of recording engineers.
Yeah, I think it was me. It was probably a culmination of me holding the dudes up from being able to like finish what they had to do, and then him just being like, yo, like you're off, and I just don't want to keep recording you being off.
Right, yeah.
So, and I definitely got it, but it was like weird. But yeah, I think so you see Ethan in that video. If anybody wants to go watch it, it's literally the same YouTube channel that you're on. All you got to do is click that video, go to the YouTube channel. You'll see BTW Vox, and you'll see Ethan in the video. And the story that I wanted to tell you was, I moved to North Carolina right after we recorded that EP. So they released that EP and like did a whole like EP release show. Like, and I'm in my bedroom in North Carolina. Like, no longer attached to this thing that like all the friends that I was growing up around thought was cool, and like it kind of created the friend group of like people that I would hang around. So now like I'm in a completely different state, like starting from zero pretty much, and I'm trying to figure that out and navigate it. I had a buddy that I met through like a church there that shared the same type of like taste in music for like heavy stuff. Like we both like Under Oath and Devil Wears Prada and stuff like that. And so Landon and the Platt and you were coming to a venue called the Orange Peel in Asheville.
Okay.
And I lived in Candler, which was like probably 40, like maybe 45 minutes away from downtown Asheville. And I want to say 30, 45 minutes. And so the Platt and you was on tour with Whitechapel, Miss May I, and like I think another band, and they were coming to the Orange Peel. And ironically enough, one of the guys my dad worked with at this place called Conmet, he ran a radio. He was a disc jockey for a radio station called like The Mountain or something there.
Okay.
And so he had like radio passes where he would just flash a badge and like get people in.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was wanting to buy tickets, and I told my parents about it, and my dad's like, oh, he's like, I can talk to, you know, so and so, and they can probably get you. And I'm like, no way. And he was like, yeah. And so the dude like comes to our house, picks me up in like this drop top red Corvette, and he's like, hey, how's it going? He's like, your dad said you wanted it. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I was like, what's going on? He's like, no. He's like, this is my he's like, my dad gave me this car, blah, blah, blah. So we just pull up to the front of the orange peel in this drop top red, old school red convertible like Corvette, and then there's a whole line of people waiting to get into the orange peel, and he just like, I walk up with him, he flashes his badge, his press badge at somebody, and then they just let us in.
Yeah.
And like, I turn, I look, and like all the kids in line are just like,
I hate you so
right,
much.
like, who are you, and how did that happen?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. So I had gotten like 2 tickets from that guy, and my buddy shows up later that night, and we got hungry at some point, and there was a Jimmy John's like right up the street, and so we're trying to leave, and I was like, dude, we got to see if we can get back in, you know. And so we asked the door security, and he was like, normally we wouldn't do this. It might have been a girl. She's like, normally we don't do this, but since the restrooms aren't working, you can come back in.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, sweet. So we went to Jimmy John's, and in walks Ethan from the Plot and You, and I still look similar to how I did. Like, I definitely didn't have any tattoos or anything back then. But I had the, you know, the mad curly hair and like glasses and stuff. And I see him. I'm like, yo, I know who that guy is. He was in he came and like saw one of the songs we were recording, whatever, and he was like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, that's the bass player of the Plot and You, like the band that we're here to see, because I told you the vocalist like recorded us, whatever. And he was like, oh, okay. And so I like stood up to go approach him. I was like, hey, I don't know if you recall, but I like recorded with Landon. He's like, yeah, dude, I remember you. And I was like, yeah. I was like, Dallas. He goes, yeah, man. He's like, what's going on? And like, we just chopped it up for a quick second. I was like, do you know where Landon's at? And he's like, yeah, he's somewhere like in the back of the venue. I was like, all right, we'll have to like go say hi to him or whatever. And Ethan kind of walks out of the Jimmy John's, and the buddy that I was with, his name's Caleb. And he's like, dude, are you famous? Like, are you not telling me something? And I was like, dude, no. Like literally, this guy probably just knows me from that one experience or interaction. And so it was kind of just funny to like have that type of conversation back then. So that was the story. And then we went back, and I did end up finding Landon, and he was towards like the back of the venue, and I went up to him and was like, hey man, I don't know if you recall, I was in this band, blah blah blah. And he's like, dude, what's up? And I was like, what's up with you, man? I was like, are you still in Finley and whatnot? Because that was where we were recording. He's like, yeah, I think I'm moving to LA, which I don't think he did, because I think he's out in right now, which is Michigan. Last I heard from somebody that was recording with them through like the scene or whatever.
I'll probably have to edit that out, but
oops.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
sure.
nobody's gonna. I just search all of.
Who knows, man? People are crazy.
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Edit it out. Oops.
Yeah, it's okay. No worries.
So yeah. Anyways, he said he was gonna. We chatted for a little bit. And it was cool to see him again. And yeah, that's the story behind that. It was cool to work with him. I think because I was so young and never had been like in a studio, which another thing too about recording with him, he had a Gateway Tower desktop in a makeshift studio out of his parents' old garage shed type deal. And what's funny about, he had an AT4040 Audio-Technica microphone, Sennheiser HD280 Pros, which I still use to this day to record because I like the way that they just feel. And one of those like kindergarten crisscross applesauce carpets behind for like sound reduction. And so I think another thing too about the video with the double scream, I think you hear it the way that you hear it because that's not like, it's not really a sound absorption panel. Like it's a stiff piece of carpet that he bent and like put wire on and like hung from the ceiling. So it's hard. So some of those molecules are those sound molecules are gonna bounce off that thing and go back. And so that might be why you're hearing it that way.
Yeah, why people think you're like cupping your mouth and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because I'm definitely not. He wouldn't. I was big into Attila at the time.
Okay.
And like I'd seen videos where Franz would just like do that. He would like cup his hands over his mouth and, like, and I was like, dude, I tried to do it, and Landon was like, no, you're not doing that. And I was like, but dude, like Attila, and he's like, I don't care, it doesn't sound good. And I was like, you got it, dude. I was like, I won't do it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't sound good while he was recording it, because he's gonna have to like EQ all that stuff. Like if there's certain frequencies that don't sound good, he would have had to do way more work. And I got it. He's like, just do the thing. you know, and that's how it works. So there's no cupping of the mouth or any of that crap in any of the recording sessions. Literally, the way I would record, and I kind of took this from Landon because I used to watch videos that he would drop for like plot videos and stuff like that, is it seemed like he would grab the cups of the headphones and like use them as an anchor point to like push into and then like force a scream out of.
Yeah.
And so you kind of see me adopt that same sort of style, just because I didn't know what else. I didn't know how else to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I take like this weird like stance too, where I come off of like I like throw one of my legs back and then like try to I like switch one of my legs back and push myself into the scream. So it's like, I don't know, it's just like a weird way of doing it.
Yeah, for those people who were talking about maybe scupping or something, I think it's pretty clear. You can see it in the video. He's going like this over his ears, and he steps back and his arms swing down like this. So there was no cupping of that in anything, and you heard it from him. That's more of a live sound thing with the like a SM57 or something, when they kind of get it like in here. I think that's more of a live thing with the heavy screamers because it creates like a dome, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So studio techniques and, you know, all that different stuff, but yeah. Okay, so let's see. How did you discover that scream? How did you come about that?
This is a funny story. I was just, so mind you, like I've ran the gamut in the comment section of the video.
Yeah.
And people have definitely, I won't be facetious and be like, my inbox has been flooded.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely been people that have so gradually messaged me, and I'll even check my spam in my Instagram messages. And then some people hit me up on Facebook, whatever. And some, like one dude asked me specifically how I did that, and I keep hearing like terminologies for this scream, dude.
Oh, like the guttural tunnel scream and stuff like
dude,
that.
Tunnel, polyphonic or something like that or whatever. And also, stop coming for Wayne in the comment section, bro. leave Wayne alone.
I heard of Lorna Shore. I wasn't thinking of them at the time. It's just that when I did see Dallas do this back in the day, I had never seen it ever in my life before, because I was like, oh my gosh. Dude, but yeah, it is definitely a thing now. Excuse me. But.
No, you're good. I was just gonna mention, like, dude, when that video, like 15 years ago, when we were when you and I were kids, or like teenagers in high school, there wasn't Lorna Shore, there was no Slaughter to Prevail, there was no Alex the Terrible.
Yeah, there was no Will Ramos or anything like that, and I think that's kind of like something to be thought of, because there's someone called Trevor, a couple like really huge vocal coaches like chimed in my comments, and I actually had one in my inbox that it's called Zen of
Screaming, Melissa Cross. So I will touch on that, because I have an uncle, Dennison O'Brien, shout out Uncle Denny. He gave me the Zen of Screaming like DVDs, and they got boosted by like one of my first bands that I was in playing drums. Like one of the dudes took them.
Oh, she's been making it that long?
Yeah. So
really?
And I think he kind of gave it to me on the premise of borrowing it. Sorry that it's no longer in my possession. I did buy new ones. I guess I could give it to him if he wants them back. But I liked it because Spencer Chamberlain from Under Oath's in there. And then I think maybe the dude from Atreyu, like some other guys. But I wasn't like, when I started this thing, Bury the Witness was an accident. I was quitting the band that I was in, and the guitarist of Bury the Witness was in that band with us because he became like another guitarist we added.
Okay.
And so when I quit, like I was done playing drums, and he asked me to come do vocals for his band. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, I think you like sing really good and scream too. I was like, dude, I'm not screaming. He was like, what? He's like, you sound good. I was like, dude, I tried to help the other guy in the band out before I quit, and they all laughed at me. He's like, yeah. He's like, but I don't think that. He's like, I think you sound like a Casey Strain and this and that. And I was like, what? I was like, all right, dude. I was like, I still don't want to do it. He was like, just come over and hang out. And I was like, if I hang out, will you like leave me alone?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then by like the second time I went over there, the deal was kind of, you know, sealed, where we were all going to start making music and writing together. But I keep getting the weeds on everything.
You're good. No
so
worries.
The way that I developed that scream, I won't say that like I never knew that somebody taught how to scream. Like I watched the Melissa Cross DVDs, and the only thing that I felt helped me on those DVDs was like the breath control. There's like a thing that she calls it's called like taking a dump or whatever, like you're dumping air. There's a specific way to like you don't raise your shoulders and like while you're screaming, because you're going to choke and hodge the air that's supposed to be coming from your diaphragm. So there's like a certain way to you inhale and then you slowly release that air over time. And so like those certain aspects of what she's teaching, I think they're like also cores to like just singing in general.
Right.
Those are what helped me. The whole screaming thing, dude. I'd be watching those DVDs, and if you might have came to the Mod X and seen us play there sometimes.
Probably.
If you caught me after like a Mod X show, I had like, that's back when drawstring bags were very popular. So in that, I had maybe a notebook with lyrics in case I forgot them on the stage, and then a bag of lemon halls. And I would.
What are lemon halls?
Cough drops.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so you would. It was very typical. Like it was very typical that if somebody came up to me after the show, you just smell lemon and menthol radiating from me.
I think I do remember you like chewing on something after the show and stuff.
Dude, I would just trash my throat because I didn't know what I was doing. And then later on, you know, maybe like 6 months to a year down the road of playing shows with the guys, it kind of just wasn't that big of a deal. I just mainly like needed water or something to drink afterwards, because I used the diaphragm more. Yeah. But the double scream is something funny. It's not. I wouldn't call it a tunnel. I wouldn't call it polyphonic, because none of those terminologies. And again, you know, there was like we said, there was no Will Ramos, there was no Alex the Terrible. I think what they do is super cool. And like there's another dude that like stitched your video, and he's like, yeah, so he's doing like a Kermit the Frog screaming thing, and then you do this like very low guttural, and I'm like, I'm doing none of that. Yeah. Like everything that you said is not like, he sounds very similar to Alex the Terrible, but nothing like what I'm doing in the video, because that's not me. And I have something, and I want to get to this, sure, or just like read it real quick, because it's basically touching on this topic. Let me get this water bottle real quick. So I found this quote earlier this morning by Rick Rubin in a video, and he says, "I don't think there's a right way to do anything. I would never dictate to someone else how to do anything. If someone asked, I would say maybe this is how. I would try it, but I would never assume that this is what's going to be best for them, because you can't know." We all have our own set of experiences that form who we are. My solution to a problem has to do with my life experience, and you know, the other person's solution to their problem has to do with their life experience, because one's not more right than the other. The one that is right for me is mine, and the one that's right for the other person is theirs. You can't compare or say one is better than the other. Well said. And I was like, dude, I got to write that down. And I specifically wrote it down for this moment, because the way I developed the double scream, I grew up with two miniature schnauzers. One's name was Chloe. The other was Calvin. Calvin was white. Chloe was salt and pepper. Calvin was high intensity ADD inside of a miniature schnauzer dog's body. Yeah. And he was all over the place all the time, but it was funny. Like, he had the coolest personality I've ever seen in a dog. He would make you laugh, if not, 2 to 3 times every single day. Yeah. When I would play with him, and he'd have like a rope toy or something, and I'd pull it from him. You know how like dogs are getting aggressive because they want you to let go first and win? You'd hear like that growl from him or whatever. And I wanted to see what his reaction would be. Oh, is your phone over here? It's not. No, it's just low. It should still be going. Yeah, it's still going. Okay, sweet. Did you have like an external battery or something like that?
I forgot in the car. So it's okay. I don't think we have two. We
can always do like part 2, 3, 4, 5. No,
right. Yeah.
But
TikTok it up.
Yeah, dude, for sure. We can always do that. I'm definitely down. So yeah, so I thought it'd be funny to snarl at Calvin, like my dog Calvin, just to see his response, because you never knew what he was gonna do. And so I literally did that, and what I did was like more. It'd be so cringy to do. Oh,
I mean, you can go ahead. Yeah, just real quick. I don't think anyone's even around right now.
I'll just be super cringe right now. But it's like this, like it sounds like a beast. So I would do like, it's almost like a dog barking. I have to remember how. So I'd be like, like, and he would just freak out.
That's kind of what Will Ramos does, actually. Believe it or not, because actually, the Zenna Screaming lady, she hopped in my inbox like today, and I was looking through her
What?
stuff. Yeah, no, she was talking. She was like, "Oh
That's
yeah, this is
wild.
kind of like what Will Ramos says." But yeah, she has like, I saw she has dude from Mudvayne. She's got Landon
dude,
Tewers
so
on
many-
there,
so many
Rory
people.
from Dayseeker, like a whole like everybody and everything in between, you know. But yeah, he actually does that in one of his songs. He does like does like the snarl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but continue.
So yeah. So I did like it was like a just like a beast snarl towards him, and he would freak out and like move, like fidget all crazy, and then just go back to being normal.
Yeah.
And playing around with that like idea of some weird, crazy, like dark sound. Since I knew I could do that like by shaping my mouth a certain way or whatever, and they say that like for a guy, your range, I mean, definitely like your diaphragm comes into play. It's the main part of like singing and all these other things, but your range is found in how wide you can expand like your face and like open your mouth.
Yeah, it's a lot of mouth shapes.
Yeah,
and
like
stuff,
yeah, if you can, like sometimes when I've done takes, like if you smile, like you can get a higher, brighter pitch out of what you're doing. So like you do something like if I'm talking right now like this, it's kind of just like low, my normal voice, and then if I smile, it goes up a little bit in pitch. So I didn't know that until like after the band and I moved to North Carolina, because I was singing with a church, like in a praise and worship team, and this woman that played piano there told me that. She was like, yeah, like a man's register and pitch is found in like the way he can, you know, as wide as he can like open his mouth, pause, you know, but like that's like where the range is. I guess that's where the range.
Yeah, the facial muscles and stuff.
Yeah. And so what's funny is like, dude, that definitely came into play with and not consciously knowing that in a lot of like the screaming that I would do. Because if you look back at pictures, there's a picture on my Facebook right now that if you flip through, that's like when I had like my very first tattoo that's covered up now, but you like see my eye sockets, like the muscles in them.
Oh, really?
Like you can see them defined. And
because you've been working it out.
Well, I just look like alien because I'm using all the muscles in my face to form like a certain shape and then like push to like get this like crazy scream out. You know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But for the double scream. So and we called it got dubbed the double scream because Gabe Call, who took that video, he was probably like one of the most intrigued by it, because he would go, "Hey, can you do that voice like where you sound like two people?" And I was like, "What if he's like the scream where you sound like two different people?" And I'm like, yeah, dude, all right. And I would call it. I was like, I have to make like this weird lizard face to do it. And so what I do is I take my tongue and I push it towards my bottom lip, and then I would scream. And I mean, I can do it. I feel like it'd sound better like standing up, like maybe, and then like probably facing. I feel like I should be facing a wall so you can kind of get the same like sound or whatever.
Yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
So at any point if you want to do that.
Yeah, if you want to do it, we can do it in the tunnel and maybe like try and get some people's reactions or something like that. So it'd be like, with the Metal Gear Solid sound like, what's going on?
Dude, I might scare people. They might think I'm like possessed.
Right.
I mean,
Literally.
people in the comments already think I am.
Dude, I was talking to one of the chefs at work when I was expoing, and I was like, yeah, dude, I got all these like fucking views, like, look at this, like, this is crazy. And he goes, oh, he's like, bro's a demon. Like, that's just bottom line. You know what I mean? So definitely
not, 'cause my parents would literally beat the possession out of me if it was in me.
Right.
So, and it's funny to say as a grown adult, but yeah, my parents would be like it. And what's hilarious is like my growing up and living with my parents and doing that, like being in a screaming band or metalcore band. It was so funny because my dad would like listen to Christian talk radio all the time, and that was it in the car.
That's how my dad is, actually. Yeah, my dad's like a pastor, and like both my parents are like, I hate that screaming music. I don't understand why you like. It's like, you know, but my parents are like older. My dad was born in like 42, and my mom was born in like 51. So they're like grandpa status, you know. So
it's so funny because my dad was like how my parents even met was my dad was a disc jockey at a roller rink, and my mom was like a derby girl.
Oh, really?
And
so
cool. my dad, and then he he was on a drum line with Liddell Abrams, who the Winans, CC Winans, like that family, like they're gospel. They have they would tour and do like gospel music and have cut gospel records. Liddell Abrams was my dad's section leader on his drum line, and they would shed together because they lived off the same street, fully like in Ypsi. So they would like shed back and forth together.
What does shed mean?
Play drums.
Oh, okay. Heard.
And so my dad's background, like, even though he would only listen to Christian talk radio because now he has kids and he's like, you know, trying to be the best dad that he can, or like best example, like I'm sure at Metallica, Poison, NWA. Oh, yeah. I think he used to play Blow the Whistle by why can't I remember his name? Like super popular rapper. Dude, that's gonna bug me. Yeah. Too Short. I think it's Too Short.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. Like I'm sure he played that back in the day. Like, and so the screaming thing they didn't understand, because at that time metalcore was like a new genre, which is why it seemed like the scene here was so strong, because it was something everybody was gravitating towards because it was new. You know?
Yeah.
Excuse me. My mom was a little bit more eclectic, where I'd hear Outkast in the car. I'd hear Linkin Park. She like loved Linkin Park. And then when I got in the band, she was excited about it. And it's so funny because she always used to tell people like, she would grab my brother and be like, I always said I'd have one son that would make me proud. And she'd grab me and be like, I always said I'd have one son that would make me rich.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big weight of responsibility.
That's it.
So like, I guess I just got to live up to that. But so she was super stoked about it. And my dad, like he came and supported. We opened up for Miss May I in the first band I was in, and like he helped me set up my drums and everything. Like super supportive for that show. And then he came to like one or two of my shows. I didn't like my parents coming to see me do that because I felt like I was flipping a switch and becoming something kind of different in a manner or like sense where I literally flip a switch and then I'm back off stage and like this like normal, what felt like a normal human being. Because I remember I used to take and like I'd roll my eyes in the back of my head too, so I could like try and just
like focus that much,
scream lower or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it added this like dramatic like point like this dramatic effect of like people thinking that it just looked evil or malicious.
Yeah. I mean, like in all reality, in the music business, you're really in the business of theatrics. You know what I mean? And it's like, and when I say theatrics, I don't mean putting on a show or putting on a play. Like you really got to get like into the role, like feel it. Yeah. So, yeah, because I think I started to realize that when I was watching Alice Cooper play live, and I'm like, "Wow!" They're like, "This is a concert." I'm like, "No, this is a play, dude." Like you just cut off Marie Antoinette's head and it's like showing it to the crowd. I was like,
Ozzy with a bat, bro.
Yeah. So it's like it is like theatrics, but I would consider it like extreme theatrics. You know what I mean? Where like it's not like I'm playing a role; it's I am the role. You know what I mean? So, or at least. I don't know. It's really just a lot of emotion, like moving on forward, like with the speed of a train, you know?
Yeah. And to add to that, that dialogue, that's what the double scream was. It was me trying to find that unique thing that would help us in some way. And it became like this, like, hey, do the trick, like, and it's so funny because I don't know if I've sent this to you. I've sent it to like my family. Like, there's a family group chat after this video blew up, and like, it's so funny because two of my siblings are. So what is that? Are you actually all my siblings? Are you internet famous? I'm like, dude, I don't even know what any of that is. Blah blah blah. But
well, you might hit a million views.
That's insane, dude.
It's crazy, about. Yeah.
But yeah, just so to go back to the whole entertainment aspect. I think, and this is going to sound crazy to say because I definitely don't support some of the probably majority of stuff that this dude says and sometimes how he acts. But somebody that takes that meter of how do I stay relevant and do something off kilter to keep people's attention on me is Kanye West. Like people will be like,
oh, for
dude,
sure.
He's like mentally insane. It's like, dude, no, he's playing a game and you're only invited to the part that you don't want to be a part of.
Love him or hate him, he's got your attention. You know what I mean?
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
The problem.
That's kind of like the the argument of like what is art, because I remember when I took like an intro to art class, like one of our first topics was like what is art, and like somebody took a urinal that was made in like a factory and they just put it there, and like people stared at it for like 2 days being like, oh, like I see the beauty in it and stuff, and it's like, well, somebody like designed it and made it. Like what makes it not art just because it's like a urinal like doesn't mean, and it's it's mass manufactured, it doesn't have to be 101, you know what I mean? But like it gets that obscurity, you know what I mean? But he definitely gets your attention. I actually just saw Scary Movie 6 last night, and there was there was a woman, she was like, yeah, we're doing black studies today, we're studying like Black Power, and it says, and she turns and says like the history of Kanye West. It was him in his Black Klansman suit.
Oh no!
And you know what? One of the better takes that I saw that I thought was hilarious. Somebody said Kanye is way less offensive and way more funny when you see him as a WWE wrestler. Because
that's hilarious.
like because he was in there. He's like, fuck Jay-Z, fuck Pharrell, blah blah blah, and you're like, he's the Black Klansman, and you're like, dude, that makes that makes so much sense. But yeah, we don't gotta get into the controversial topic of him.
Yeah. I just brought him up because you said like Marie Antoinette's head, and then I said Ozzy.
I love him,
and it's like,
that's just me though.
Yeah. No, I think like obviously like if anybody hates Kanye West, watch the Genius documentary, because it's a very early like visual of who he is and what he's doing.
For sure.
I think now he just knows how to stay relevant, whether that's appeasing or not appeasing people. He's going to get your attention, and that's why I brought him up, because of like, you know, if PETA was like a huge organization back when Ozzy did the Bat thing, think of it, like he would have been exiled for that.
I think they were. I think they had a huge problem with that. But like, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah,
you know what I
like,
mean?
everybody still loves him. And
yeah.
Like,
oh, for sure.
You know, like,
one of the greatest.
He's passed on now, right?
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, everybody, like when they reminisce about him, it's like it's never anything negative.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what I'm getting at, is like it's when it comes to, like you said, when you said music's theater, it's literally just that, entertainment. You know, it stinks because in a way, like back when we were kids and that metalcore, whatever you want to call it, subgenre was becoming popular, the entertainment aspect of that is that it was new, and if kids that you went to high school with were good at it and you go see it, that was the entertainment. They didn't have to do some sort of gimmick. They didn't have to like, they didn't have to woo you. You just got in the pit because like those are your homies,
right? And
they're good at that thing.
Yeah, and it was really like a crazy scene. Like you know, you think back on it sometimes, and I try and move forward and think of like what's new and how can I like get the scene moving again. And I actually have some ideas for that I might tell you off of camera, and everything. But it was like such an insurgence of like something new, something fresh, and it was like riding off the pigtails of like Slipknot, Linkin Park, and like all those other like you know, middle school Papa Roach stuff like that, and all those bands, and it just got super concentrated and super crazy. And the flourishment that came through the Metro Detroit scene, and I'm sure I didn't, we were just kids, so I don't know about Indiana, Chicago, or anywhere else, but in Metro Detroit, it was crazy, dude. There was so much talent. I mean, even Sycamore nowadays, they got like 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify now. Yeah, they got signed, they got dropped. It looks like they're probably trying to figure out to get signed again or something. So whatever, good for them. But yeah, no, the scene was, and I mean, I still think it still has potential. Like, I just think we just really need to bring that local scene back, and I think that'd be a great resurgence. I don't think it can be what it was, but I think it can be something new. You know, I
agree with you. I'll say this: I had to do a senior project in North Carolina, and I wanted to be an audio engineer, and this kind of came off the crux of all of us kids when we were in Landon Studio, and we just saw that he had like a Gateway desktop and like 2 monitors and a AT4040 and like a PreSonus interface,
right? And
he's using Cubase.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how the other guys, I can't speak to the other guys' experience and like how they saw it, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, he doesn't have, you know, $100,000 worth of equipment in here. He just has, you know, good, reliable equipment and knows what he's doing. And so I took that and I was like, if I can figure that out, dude, I'll be good. And I didn't know how to like use Cubase or whatever, and I got a job at Apple for like a hot minute, I'd say, and I was working part-time there at Briarwood, and one of the coolest things was you could like get any software that they had, they'd license to you for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, since you worked there and you were an employee. So I got Logic, and it was like I don't know how you describe it, but it's a forever license. So I'm licensed.
Perpetual.
Perpetual. Yep.
license,
So I got a perpetual license for Logic,
Uh-huh.
and I can put it on like 2 computers at any time.
Oh, really?
And so that was what I used to do my first album. Now, I didn't know I wasn't like Landon where I had like a Joey Sturgis or somebody around me to kind of show me what they were doing and like study from that in a way. I had I had to like go on YouTube, and a lot of what you hear on like my first album, my vocals are very buried and heavily buried in heavy effects and different reverb and stuff. And I think it comes from a place of like trying to figure out what my normal voice would sound like.
Yeah.
Comfortably without all this stuff, but then also like watching different YouTubers and be like, this is how you can do your vocals to sound similar to this or this genre.
Getting lost in that
and just pulling that, and like those guys aren't like, it's not like they have some degree from Full Sail or Juilliard or something like that. Like
maybe.
The one that I watched, he didn't discuss that or anything like that. He was kind of just he was going viral for making funny songs in the vein of like another artist.
Oh, okay.
And so like that was where I would kind of pull from, which probably wasn't the best idea, but
no, whatever.
But it works because some of the songs are cool, and then there's other ones where like I definitely don't drive the effects that much. Like Ocean has been like a huge favorite, and it's kind of funny the way that I recorded that song. I actually and I don't think this is normal to do or should be done, but as Rick Rubin would say, I think there's no right way.
No.
And so I recorded with the SM7B.
Mm-hmm.
That's the microphone that I bought because I fell in love with Brockhampton. I don't know if you know who they are.
Oh, yeah.
And they used the SM7B a lot for what they were doing for like the saturation series, and I loved all of it. So set up the mic in my kitchen of my studio bedroom apartment, my old one, that had like ceramic tile. And I set it up in there because I thought reflection would be a thing that would kind of be super present in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had like this little cove like cut out in like a wall, like an old like Midwest, like when you walk into a living room, it's kind of like this big rounded off drywall, but it curves rather than it just 2 straights.
Okay.
And so that was where I would produce in that little cove, and then through that was like the door to my bedroom. And then the ceramic tile was like the kitchen, and then a door to a restroom was like super tiny. So I recorded the vocals for Ocean and a song called Ocean that I'd made in the kitchen, but I let some of the audio bleed through from the monitors that I had at the time, because I was in the kitchen and like all the sound was in that little cove.
Right.
And I remember recording that without like driving the effects of the vocals like crazy, like just trying to sugarcoat them, if you will. And I remember finally like nailing a certain take and just getting like chills, because it just felt like a really cool moment. And for some reason so many people like that song, and I was like, so maybe the chills like meant something.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think it's like when something's good, it's kind of as long as you like that type of music, it's kind of unanimous. I think that those like chills or like that whatever, when you hit that mark, I think that's something when you're like, that's good, and I know that everyone thinks it's good because I think it's that good, so it's not going to matter if they think it's good or not. You know what I mean? So, yeah, for sure. That's awesome, man. Okay. Moving on. Did I forget anything at all? Let me see. Music-wise, blah, blah. Let me just do 2 more really quick ones.
For sure.
How does it make you feel that there are so many people, including major professional talent, that are into you? Because even Joey Sturgis reposted the reel, and he was saying that's insane. I know you got a follow from him and stuff like that. And then Art of Zen. Oh, yeah, that's what I was worried about. That's why I kept looking at my camera.
That's all good.
And Art of Zen.
Artisan or Zen is Screaming?
Zen is Screaming, yeah. And a couple other...
Did she followed me?
She jumped in my inbox and was like, just talk to me about vocal techniques and stuff, about like what she thought you were doing.
Hey, what's up, Melissa? I bought your DVDs. Follow me, bro.
There we go. For sure. I'll drop in her inbox. I'll drop this interview in Landon's inbox too, just to see what's going on. And But how does that make you feel that all these major talents and people with followings and infrastructure of business follow you and think that you're awesome?
Dude, it's interesting. I don't know how to like feel about it. There was one dude that followed me today, and I think his name's like Sam or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you're awesome. And I was like, dude, thanks for. And I've been saying this in the
Uh-huh.
comments, like anybody that hits me up, like, dude, you're so good.
Yeah.
Like, thanks for the kind words, and I like you give them like the prayer hands, like
Uh-huh.
for like gratitude.
There's only so much you can say. It becomes a little
Yeah.
overwhelming at a certain point, I'm sure. Like even there was even a football player who followed me because I assumed that he was interested in you.
Okay.
And you think he plays for the Raiders or something like that?
That's wild.
Yes.
Dude, you gotta send me like screenshot and send me some of the stuff.
I will.
'Cause this isn't the knowing is more intriguing to me than like the exposure or like the like this guy's it or what, because like to me I don't like fully like wrap my head around, like I said, my siblings are like, so you're internet famous?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like I told my brother today, I was like, yo, my apartment's still trashed, I still gotta go get toilet paper in like a
Yep.
week, like nothing's changed.
Oh,
And
the
he's like,
grind's real, bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
for
he's
sure.
like, but dude, like you could do something with this. And then my shift lead engineer that I work with at work, he gave me like a whole coached like speech, which is like up, yelling, animated. I'm like red in the face. I'm like, yo, why are you coaching me? I was like, 'cause obviously you need that shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, I was like, I'm gonna release stuff, but it's got to be like I'm gonna do it in time. It's not like I'm like, maybe if I sit in front of a laptop and get comfortable with it enough that I constantly am doing it, then it'll happen. Like I'm sure if I sit down and discipline myself, it'll happen.
Yeah.
But like right now, like the only thing that I have is like in that camera, that footage from the cover, and then right now conceptualizing that album that I was telling you about.
Right.
So it's interesting. I think it's crazy. I did my senior project on Joey because I told you. So to go back to the whole Landon thing, when I saw that he didn't have like this super expensive equipment, I was like, yo, I can do that, And I didn't have Logic up until I was in my like mid 20s maybe, because that was when I started working at Apple. But when I'm graduating from high school in North Carolina, and they're like, you got to do your senior project on what you want to do for the rest of your life, and I'm like, well, I can't tell them that I want to scream because that's not a career.
Right. That's not yeah. They won't be like,
and I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in a band. And so I was like, well, Landon was able to record, kids for like a certain amount of money and make a living off of that, and then figure his band stuff out and like do that full time too. And I was like, audio engineering. That's what I'll go for. And so I used Joey as it's so weird and full circle that he followed me. And that's how I feel about it. Like, because I don't look at it like I don't look at it in any other way. I try to like just
try to be humble about it.
Yeah, because like one of the best things that I can't remember Michael Jackson's mom's name, but she said before like the kids started blowing up, she's like, you keep your head down and you remain humble and
keep working. Yeah.
And what I loved about like Quincy Jones when he was producing with Mike and Bruce Swedien was his engineer, they would say that you always leave enough room for leave enough space in the area for God to step through the room. Yeah. And so like that's kind of how that's my mindset. But I did my senior project on Joey. Like I used Joey because the metalcore because you have metal, so I guess metalcore would kind of be a sub genre of metal, right? I used him as an example because when I started researching him, they talked about how he kind of pushed the metalcore subgenre through the Midwest and was like the forefront of it. And they said, and like part of my presentation was that he took 90s pop choruses, like the sound of a 90s pop chorus, and integrated it into a thrash metal song. So you have like a normal thrash metal song would be all gas, no breaks, and from start to finish. Yeah. And then Joey sits down for the first time with Prada in Indiana, or wherever they're at, sits down with Prada. They're writing Plagues, and the way that I think, and from the research that I did, I can't cite source right now off the top of my head, but from the research that I gathered for my senior project was Joey would go to shows where Prada was at and try and get them to record with them. And I don't know if they brushed him off like one or two times, and then finally they got in the studio with him, and they took it from like just being this like Midwest metal band to you have Mike Hronica doing the screaming, and then you have
I don't know his name.
yeah, I can't remember. Jeremy DePoister doing the choruses.
Mhm.
So you have Hronica screaming, you have DePoister doing the choruses, but like you have like literally 90s pop influence. So that normal metal thrash song that would just go from here to here and then be done, somewhere in between like an intro and like a verse and a bridge, boom, there's this chorus here, and then after like a bridge or another verse, boom, there's a back end chorus here, and you either end on that chorus, you end with like a screaming outro.
Yeah.
And he somehow was like the pioneer, from what I understand, behind
for sure.
that.
Rise Records and like Memphis May I and all that stuff. I think I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but,
Miss May I.
Yeah.
Miss May I was signed to Rise. Prada was when they first came out was signed to Rise.
Oh, Memphis Mayfire is what I meant to say.
Memphis Mayfire was signed to
Rise for a while.
Oh yeah, they were signed to Rise. You're correct.
Yeah.
They worked with a different engineer though. But yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. But yeah, so like, but I think Joey was a very early adapter, if not cultivator of that subgenre of music. And I just used him as an example because when I saw him with Prada, you're seeing him like it's boots on the ground. It's not like he's big or rich or anything like that. Like he doesn't have the best equipment, and then you see him go from that to like I see pictures of him with like his black credit card on like Instagram or whatever, which is like the Amex flags or whatever you want to call it. And I'm just like, dude, and then he's got like platinum plaques because so many albums have sold. I'm like, yo, like not only can you make a career, but like he can be like you could be a rock star.
He's like legend. I think he's like Rick Rubin status of like the metal world
for sure. Like he's a within his own right, like a rock star himself because he's mass produced a lot of those records, and so I used him as an example just because I knew he was successful at doing something that I still had an interest in for my senior project.
That's awesome.
And so to see that, I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's funny because like the old Barry guitarist like jumped in there and was like talking to him or whatever, and he showed
and he's like, I'm not dead.
Yeah, and he was like, dude, we might have to. And I'm like, dude, I was like, I don't do metal anymore.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, so with that all being said, running out of battery here and stuff. But to end it on a good note, at least a strong one, what is one thing that you would have to say to all the haters out there that don't think it's real and think you're faking it? We'll show you a video of him doing it afterwards, if you're okay with that, right?
For sure.
And then do you have if you could say one thing to them, what do you think it would be?
One thing to who?
To the haters.
To the haters?
The people who don't think it's real, the people who don't think it's fake. Or would you say anything at all to them?
Dude, touch grass, bro.
Touch grass,
touch
he says.
Grass. Get outside, my guy.
Yeah, he says,
hey,
forget you. He says it's real, and if you don't believe it, then...
Yo, dreams come true. Anything's possible, man.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, if you work at it. I'm not going to say that everybody can do it. I would say this. Not everybody's going to do it the same way.
Well said, for sure. All right, well... Thanks for coming, guys. That was Dallas Flanary of Bury the Witness. I appreciate you.
Dude.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man.
It's been a pleasure. And yeah, we will. We're gonna do the Scream right after this as a treat for the end of the video.
Let's get it.
So thank you.
All right.
No rush, but
so I brought you some things.
Okay. For sure.
Since the video's at what, 700-something-thousand?
750,000. Yeah.
750,000. Yeah, and counting.
Yep.
Yo. Get it to 1 million, bro.
Let's do it. Let's get it to 1 million. That would be crazy.
But just to show a little bit of gratitude, do you still have the clown shirt?
I think I do at my mom's house somewhere.
Okay. Well, so this is worn by your boy, so it's a little worn out.
Okay.
This is I guess this would be considered vintage.
For sure.
So.
Oh wow.
First, I have this for you. This is my last one of these. I mean, I have one, but like one of the members' moms like wrote on it because she mailed them to me after like the whole EP release or whatever. But this was like a font that we got from a guy, and then awesome. One of the bandmates did like a shoreline wave for like the Purge by Shore. So here's and I just want to show this.
Yeah, go for it.
MySpace.com/Bury the Witness.
That's
bro.
awesome.
MySpace.
That's wild.
Oh, Michigan, just so you know.
For sure.
But yeah, that's for you.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
It's a sticker. I don't know how well it'll stick, so maybe just it is clear when you peel it. So if you want to stick it somewhere,
I will.
Yourself out.
I might do that. I might hang it up somewhere. Yeah.
And then I got mailed 2 T-shirts. One I decided to keep because it has Is this thing making noise? One I decided to keep because it's got my lyrics on the back of it.
Okay.
And it's like my favorite one, and so my only one.
Okay.
But then I wanted to give this to you, just for being so cool and like being genuine.
Yeah.
And it's the same design, but like I said,
Oh,
it
that's
is.
sick,
I call
dude.
it vintage because it's for sure worn
Go.
out.
Okay.
It's a large, but that's for you.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm a large, dude. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
And then before I give you the last like little piece of something, so this is the solo album. I don't know if I should do like a shameless plug on this.
No, go for it. Yeah.
So I don't have like a website to sell them or anything, but if anybody wants one, you can PM me and I'll figure out like cost breakdown of like what it would be to ship. And I think I'd probably charge like, it's 10 songs, so maybe like $10 or whatever, but it's a USB card. It's got the artwork on the front for the album, and then also like song names, everything.
Oh, I got you.
Everything on the back. Thanks. So for people that don't know, this is my face just sideways with like a filter on it, and then even on the back. The album's called like Soulful. It's called Soulful Intended Nuance, just for the idea of like transitioning into R&B, because this is my first album, my solo album by myself. But I call it Sin for short. So it's on all streaming platforms. If you just look up Dallas, Flanary, and Sin, you'll find it. But yeah, if you want one of these, PM me, and I'll let you know the cost breakdown, especially to ship it wherever you're at. But it's a USB card, so you pop this part out, and then it's a USB.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's got 10 songs. You just plug in the computer. 10 songs, and the artwork's on it.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
there's that for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
hey,
dude.
keep this in your wallet and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's another
awesome.
thing. It's like it's an album in your pocket, bro. And then this is gonna be hilarious, dude. I told you I have a habit of off camera. I told you I have a habit of holding on to things. So in that video, there's a notebook for the viewers that are watching, that watch the video and maybe want to go back and watch the video or watch his video, and this will probably drive it to 1 million+ views. There's a ladder in Landon's shed, and right next to that ladder, I had a Sprite that I was drinking, and then I have a notebook on one of the rungs of that ladder, and this is that notebook where I was reading my lyrics from. And so I'm gonna let you take your pick. It's totally up to you.
Oh, cool.
These are the original lyrics from that video 15 years ago.
Oh, let's go. That's awesome.
So this would be Dead on Arrival, Alive by Revival.
Okay.
And then the lyrics that you're hearing that you got are
Not
right.
the gumdrop buttons.
Yeah, so if you want that one, you can have it, because it's totally up to you. I feel like I have to give my mom one of these.
No, for sure.
This song was about her, but I'm sure she's not here either way. Yeah, so the line is right here. Far greater presence here to break the silence. So break the silence is the line.
So that one's for your mom though.
I can give it to you, dude. I don't think she's gonna sweat it. That the audio lives on. So
Okay,
she'll always have that.
That's
you know what I'm
true.
saying?
That's true for sure.
So what are you going for?
Yeah, I'll take that one
Dude,
then.
absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate
Is
that.
it cool if I rip it out and everything?
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I'm gonna find a real cool place for this.
Now, don't criticize my spelling.
No, not at all.
I was in high school, and I will say English was my best subject.
Yeah.
I didn't have an iPhone to ask how to spell certain words back then.
No, this is why you keep like stuff around. You know what I mean?
To show progress.
Yeah. Show progress and reminisce on the past and stuff. That's cool, man.
This is for you, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, dude.
I'll give you a hug if you don't mind. That's super cool. Very nice. I appreciate that, man. Very cool. Well, that's Dallas Flanary. I'm scared my phone's gonna die, but thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, till next time, guys. Can you do it? Can you do people walking out? Oh, it's fine. They'll be okay. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Unwarranted screams, it's fine.
Hey, you guys want to see something cool?
No, don't do that.
You don't want to do that? Okay.
I don't make me scream.
You know what? You guys want to hear like a cool ass metal scream?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Here.
Don't call it a tunnel scream. We're in a tunnel. We can't. It's a dumb little scream.
It's a higher. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
Can we all just ride the silence?
That was sick.
Yeah, can I show you on camera?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, was that real?
That was valid.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Nice.